Stakeholders in the clean energy sector in Ghana have called for more concerted and accelerated efforts to facilitate the adoption of the use of clean energy cookstoves and fuels in the country, especially for rural households. The call was made on Wednesday by an energy advocate, Madam Faustina Boakye of the Alliance of Civil Society Organizations for Clean Energy Access, also known as Access Coalition, at a stakeholders forum organized at the Micklin Hotel in Accra. In Ghana, a Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources 2012 report on the issue indicated that Ghana is losing its forests at a very alarming rate, revealing that the country's forest cover had dwindled from 8.2 million hectares at the beginning of the 20th century to only 1.6 million hectares currently. It is against this horrifying background that Madam Faustina Boakye has advised the government and the private sector to channel some resources to help sensitize and educate communities and institutions in implementing policies to achieve SDG 7, which is linked to the other 16 SDG goals. According to Madam Faustina Boakye, access to clean cookstoves and fuels need expansion in Ghana to help address deforestation and climate change, reduce indoor pollution, and improve livelihoods and the environment of rural households and women processors in Ghana and West Africa.
West Africa, we have them there, and if we get contacts in all those countries, they will also be able to bring together their colleagues working on energy access, and West Africa, where always the best comes from, will be able to champion the rights of energy. This year, I pray that we'll be able to include a lot of women in energy, women's work in energy, women's challenges in accessing energy, clean cooking and other things so that women will also benefit here. We are trying to get a grassroots women's energy network in this country, and I pray that when we are able to do it, Access will also champion that here in this country, where we are even trying to diversify the products women sell at Makola, at Odona, at Tema Station markets, where they are selling their tomatoes but also selling renewable energy products like cook stoves, like solar lamps, like everything, so that they will also diversify and get more incomes to support their families.
In an interview, the West Africa Regional Coordinator and Director for Access Coalition, Mr. Chibizie Ezekiel, appealed to the government to work hand in hand with civil society to champion climate change and clean energy, and also create awareness for the public to know and be abreast with numerous policies for the sector, and for government to streamline and coordinate activities of partners to optimize impact.
Both the World Bank and EFDB have their own CSOs engagement mechanism. So for us to engage them on that score, we have to build our own capacity as CSOs, so we can make meaningful contributions in our own when it comes to the implementation of their own mechanisms. So that is why we feel it is important to engage our members, bring them up to speed on the World Bank and EFDB mechanisms, so they can also play a key role in trying to implement the policy.
Yeah, as you said, it's but why are you so much interested in these two instances related to climate change? What role do they play in climate change situation?
Okay, so now climate change is a global issue. So just as we heard from EFDB, climate change is now mainstream in all their projects and all their programs. The World Bank also has climate change, playing a key role in all the work that they do. In fact, just last year, the World Bank launched its climate change and development report. So it tells you how important climate change is to the bank. And for us as CSOs also working in climate change and energy space, we feel it's important to engage the banks. Want to understand how they are supporting their countries when it comes to climate change and energy, and how as CSOs we can support that process and ensure that they are able to achieve their objectives, their impact. So we see ourselves more as stakeholders, contribute to the climate change, and the fight against climate change to the support of the banks.
Mr. Bekali Olame, a principal program officer at the African Development Bank, commended the government on some of the already implemented policies. He also encouraged civil society organizations to continue engaging themselves and other key stakeholders to ensure the effective utilization of resources in the fight against climate change and the adoption of clean energy in Africa.
When we say we have the country strategic paper, so we have the pillars, but now when we want to have a new project, that project should come into the pillars. So we have the strategy, but we are using the project, we finance the project to contribute to that strategy. And actually, this is the actual portfolio. We have 18 active projects. The commitment is 706.4 million US. In terms of the bank I5s, 9% is Light Up and Power Africa, Feed Africa 20%, Industrialize Africa is 9%, Integrate Africa is 38%, and Improve the Quality of Life for the People of Africa 22%. In terms of sector distribution, we have the first sector is transport with 44%, followed by agriculture, 15%, multi-sector, 13%. Multi-sector is governance and some institutional support projects. Energy, 9%, finance, 8%, water and sanitation, 7%, and social, which is 4%.